Breaking news, Greg Bovino, the Napoleon Nazi, the Timu terrorist coat wearing half a Hitler, has been relieved of his duties and being pulled out of Minnesota to return to his old post in California, where he is expected to retire soon. In other words, this pocket-sized patrol agent got fired amidst yet another shooting in Minnesota by ICE, Border Patrol, and an unaliving of an American. And they're saying that this is in response to that and the backlash that they've received for the 3 weeks of terror that they have enacted. But I don't know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, that's what y'all be saying in the comments section, right? So let's listen to some people who actually know what they are talking about regarding this. Let's start with Mr. Don Lemon here.
Newsroom. The guy who is heading the whole Border Patrol situation in Minneapolis, Gregory Bovino, has been removed from his role as Border Patrol Commander at Large, and he's going to return to his former job in El Centro, California, where he's expected to retire soon. This is what The Atlantic is reporting. Bevino's sudden departure here and his sudden demotion, this is the clearest sign yet that Donald Trump and his administration, they are trying to take a turn the tables on this aggressive tactics after the killing of 37-year-old Alex Preddy by Border Patrol agents under Bovino's command. And guess what? Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and her close advisor Corey Lewandowski, who were Bovino's biggest backers at DHS, The Atlantic is reporting that they're also at risk of losing their jobs. Good. So stay tuned. We'll bring you more details as we get them into the Don Lemon Show newsroom. But here's the breaking news. Gregory Bovino, apparently gone. Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski, possibly on the chopping block, according to reports. We'll keep you updated.
Good. Get all the asses up out of here, please.
Now,
ASAP.
Word that Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino and his unit will be leaving Minnesota after today on the street where Preddy died. And this is not far from where Renee Good was shot and killed just 3 weeks ago. Residents are encouraged over possible de-escalation, but there is a lot of skepticism.
Good. Get them out of here. Murdering people for what reason? That's not closing borders. It's killing legal citizens. Yeah. Enough. They were innocent victims. No violence at all. It's insane. And people who don't live here don't understand how terrible it is. It's terrible.
Between your agency, Border Patrol, and Mr. Charles, your agency, ICE, we've now seen 2 separate people shot and killed by your officers within 17 days. Do either of you plan on taking any accountability for those actions?
2 suspects, or you're correct, 2 suspects have been shot, and suspects that assault, delay, obstruct, or threaten a law enforcement officer's life. It goes back to the choices that we just talked about. When individuals make poor choices, poor decisions, come into a law enforcement situation, an active law enforcement situation, conspire to come into that situation, whether that's based on ideology, we don't know. That'll be in the investigation that we just talked about. That's what we base the split-second decisions on, and our law enforcement officers are safe. They managed to come home at the end of shift. And, again, I would implore upon any individuals, whether they're anarchists, rioters, or anyone else that thinks it wise to go into a law enforcement scene to disrupt, to delay, is to don't do that. Think about...
Okay, and listen, don't impede law enforcement when they are conducting an investigation or trying to do their job, because apparently it's legal for them to just shoot you to death for impeding such investigation, which means that if they pull you over and you're not cooperating and they decide that you're obstructing justice, no judge or jury, they just execute you right there on the spot, right? this is what black people been going through for years. So this is not nothing new to us. It's just watching the rest of the world, or the rest of the country rather, see this happening to their very own kind. And it was some black people that dealt with this ICE and Border Patrol as well. But seeing now even white people having to deal with it, and now there's finally something being done, is crazy. I swear.
According to The Atlantic, Greg Bovino, Border Patrol's commander at large, has been fired, has lost his job. Now, DHS was quick to say, no, that's not true. He's not going to be in Minnesota anymore. It's still bullshit. Because other sources have confirmed he's been suspended from his social media accounts. His social media accounts where he used to spend a lot of time just going at it in the comments with people, like the 5'4" fucking troll that he is. He liked to run his mouth on the internet and then walk around surrounded by taller men with his long jacket on. This little Nazi-inspired jacket that he loves so much. Mm-hmm. He can go take his jacket and go crawl under a rock somewhere because guess what, bud? You're getting...
I wonder if that jacket came from the Yeezy collection.
Be the fall guy. You can take the fall for it. And this just beginning, losing your job is not the end-all, be-all.
Oh, no.
No. There's going to be other consequences coming for the shit that's happened under your watch.
Yep.
Go fuck yourself.
Fall guy or not, these consequences are going to come in the form of litigation, I personally believe. But also, like, he's not going to have that same wall of protection around him that he had. And now you're about to see how they really operate in this country. It's all good till it ain't. Once they get rid of you, once you ousted, all that protection, whatever you thought that you had the ability to do and the ability to move, you're going to have to get facial reconstructive surgery, change your name legally, and move your family. Well, I don't know if you can move to another country because they might deport your ass right back here. Let's go.
FBI Director Kash Patel said in a Sunday interview, quote, "You cannot bring a firearm loaded with multiple magazines to any sort of protest." Does the president believe the Second Amendment rights remain in effect even when protesting?
The president supports the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding American citizens. Absolutely. There has been no greater supporter or defender of the right to bear arms than President Donald J. Trump. So while Americans have a constitutional right to bear arms, Americans do not have a constitutional right to impede lawful immigration enforcement operations. And any gun owner knows that when you are carrying a weapon, when you are bearing arms and you are confronted by law enforcement, you are raising the assumption of risk and the risk of force being used against you. And again, that's unfortunately what took place on Saturday.
Interesting. The last video that I did yesterday, I had made a comment about, the immigrants being deported. And I said, well, who's going to do certain jobs that a lot of Americans don't want to do? And in the comment section, there's people saying, no, I do want to do those jobs. And, they can pay the immigrants much cheaper. So, they take the jobs. And I'm like, okay, cool. If you do want to do these certain jobs that a lot of these immigrants do, fine. Go ahead and do that. But the going rate is the going rate. And if that's truly what you want to do, you're just going to have to accept that the price is going to be significantly lower than what it is. I believe that this country is not perfect, definitely is not perfect, but the economy is the way that it is, and it has been that way for a minute. And I think that if they continue with these efforts to disrupt, then it's not going to be as balanced as it is. And me personally, I don't even think this is about immigration for real or even keeping the economy balanced. I think this is about something much deeper and darker than that. Me personally.
We have massive breaking news right now. Greg Bovino has been demoted. He is no longer the commander at large for the Border Patrol. The Atlantic has confirmed that Bovino is out. Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski could be next. What we are looking at is a possible mass purge by the Trump administration in the Department of Homeland Security. Donald Trump was not happy this weekend, has not been happy, and we're seeing it happen in real time. Greg Bovino will return to his former job in El Centro, California. He is expected to retire from his job shortly thereafter. Retire.
Right. Retire. Nah, nigga, you fired.
An individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently.
How much Botox does she have in her face? Like, this bitch be stiff as a motherfucker.
Fearing for his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics were on the scene immediately and attempted to deliver medical aid to the subject, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect also had 2 magazines with ammunition in them that held dozens of rounds. He also had no ID. This looks like a situation where an individual arrived at the scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement.
Flat out lying. Flat out lying. The young lady just said that Trump believes in the Second Amendment right. And we saw the video. It looks like he was protecting somebody else. Again, the man was on the ground. You already disarmed him. Even if all of the officers did not realize that he was disarmed, what gives somebody the right, who was standing right there when he was disarmed actually, to pull out a gun and shoot the man? What was it, 6, 7 times? It's crazy. The lies.
Well, it's official. Donald Trump's favorite little Nazi has been demoted. Looks like the role commander at large is now vacant. They have real nerve thinking that this is going to be acceptable, saying that he's going to go back to his former job in El Centro, California, where he is expected to retire soon. Retire soon. What he better do is he better get lawyered up and get ready to fight his case, because he's definitely going to see some trials. They said Bovino's sudden demotion is the clearest sign yet that the Trump administration is reconsidering its most aggressive tactics after the killing Saturday of 37-year-old Alex Pretty. I think they're headed for a lot more than a reconsideration of their tactics. I can promise you that one. What this has sparked is beyond what Trump and his little demotion could possibly do. Americans are pissed, and a little demotion is not gonna cut it this time. We want jail. We want justice for all of the deaths that these people have caused. And it ain't just Alex, because ICE has killed 9 people so far just in 2026.
I want y'all to look at this list real quick as I end this video and just study this list. Take a look at these names, because this is just 2026 alone, okay? This has been a wild January. We're only 27 days into 2026. And this is the chaos and the damage and the violence that has been done, that has been caused. I don't even know how many deaths some of the most dangerous or major cities have so far. But this is ICE that has done this. Just ICE. I don't even think this is including Border Patrol. I mean, Alice Pretty maybe, but yeah, this is wild. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments section about the firing of Napoleon Nazi.
You got music, you got a business, you got a product or service, but you're not making enough money off of it because you don't have enough exposure. DM or email me right now to get promoted on my platforms. I have 850,000 subscribers on YouTube. I have 460,000 followers on Instagram. I have the following that you want to get seen in front of. I was able to increase the sales of this Amazon book off of a YouTube sponsorship with just 30,000 views. And I was able to give this artist 15,000 views with the Instagram repost in less than 24 hours. So DM or email me at bookingcranklucas@gmail.com right now to get more exposure and more money for your business.